Showcased our military strength against the regime. Now, as Tehran presses for concessions, some lawmakers say our tactics are working when it comes to reopening the Strait of Hormuz.
What you see now is an act of desperation, I think, because President Trump had prepared to unleash unmitigated fury on Iran just the past weekend when they came to the table again and said, no, we want to make a deal.
And so we are having success getting oil out of the strait. And that success blunts the effectiveness of what the Iranians are trying to do at the Strait of Hormuz. It's not something that ends it tomorrow, but something which gradually brings it to a close.
However, Iran is now demanding major concessions to reopen the waterway, raising the question, does Tehran have the upper hand, or is it overplaying it? Joining me now to discuss this is national security expert and military analyst, Dr. Rebecca Grant. Doctor, thank you so much for joining the program. Iran knows that as long as the strait is closed, energy prices will remain high for Americans ahead of an election coming up in November. Who is more desperate to end this war?
Oh, there is no question that Iran is in the desperate position. The IRGC would love to make some money off the strait, but it's just not going to happen. Thanks to the U.S. Navy, President Trump is able to sit back and take his time and basically ignore all these demands. And the reason is, as J.D. Vance hinted over the weekend, there is oil coming out of the strait through pipelines and also through dark transits and ship-to-ship transfers. Those international mariners are a pretty clever bunch, and there is quite a bit coming out, and that's why we hear this talk about oil continuing to flow. So Iran is never going to have leverage over the Strait of Hormuz in the long term.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the American military might. However, a lot of the demands that we saw early in this war regarding Iran's nuclear program are now applying just to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Over the weekend, Iran laying out those demands, which include billions of dollars in sanction relief, even war reparations they're calling for, and U.S. troops withdrawing from the region and ending the naval blockade. What did you think of that over the weekend as the regime laid out their new demands?
Oh, Iran's demands are completely unreasonable, and they really show that the IRGC is out of options. All they can do now is these occasional terroristic-like attacks towards international shipping and towards U.S. bases. But remember, we still have 50,000 U.S. service members there, 2 aircraft carriers, the amphibious ship Boxer, destroyers, the list goes on, our Space Force watching all of that as well. The alarming point to me is what becomes of the nuclear dust. But let's remember, we have extremely good overwatch of that area, and we have ended Iran's ability to enrich and